Hey y'all, Nick Horton here, the Iron Samurai, and this is another episode of Weightlifting Academy. As you know, I have 3 laws of snatching. 1, lock out. 2, hit your hip. 3, stop being a pussy. Or if there are kids around, we say no cats, in reference to the idea of you being a fraidy cat. The third one is actually by far the hardest. It takes you basically your whole career, and it involves a lot of mental training because let's face it, putting a heavy barbell over your head is frightening for good reason. If it landed on your head, that could be dangerous. So you do have to work on your ability to master your fear so that your technique can stay good throughout, so that you can lock out and hit your hip correctly and with force and intensity. But today, I'm going to focus on an example of what happens when you break rule number 1. If your lockout is not as intense, strong, and powerful as it should be, you can do everything else right, and you'll still miss your lift. And so we're going to show a video here, and I'm going to talk over it, of Eli doing exactly that. Let's check it out. All right, so we got Eli set up here, and we're just going to go through this really quickly. I'm just going to show you that he does everything leading up to the finish totally fine. See that? His setup was good. He gets to the knee position. Look at that. He looks pretty solid right here. He's a solid dude. He gets here. He's in the hip position. Nice. Bar hits the hip. Rule number 2. Boom! And when he hits that bar, this is pretty fucking solid. I mean, he's getting the bar back like it's supposed to be. It goes into the right position, and then boom. Oh, look at that. Breaking rule number 1. His arms and his shoulders just aren't locked the way they're supposed to be, and that causes him to lose the lift. So quickly, I want to go give an example of what can happen if you do the opposite. If you lock out really well, really strong, but you kind of screw up the rest. That's exactly what George does here. As soon as he gets that bar off the floor, it starts flying forward. Notice this. He's hardly having to dive forward for that bar. But because he locks out really hard, he makes the lift. In a competition, George wins, Eli loses.